Let me do the introductions right now. At your far right, representing Northrop Grumman, retired Commodore Gainendra Sharma, who is the Managing Director for India. Next to him, to his right, James Kaplan, Director, F-404, F-415 programs, and responsible for all the engines on the F-18 Hornets, Super Hornets, and Growlers worldwide. Representing Raytheon is Glenn Coleman, Director of Space and Airborne Systems. Next to him, to the right, representing Boeing, Mike Reeds.
Question. How do you comment? How do you comment on that? How the Boeing is likely to respond to this kind of expectation of TOT?
Technology transfer clearly is a key element of any fighter competition, or in fact any competition for warfighting equipment, where you have international competitors and you have a Air Force and an industry that wants to have state-of-the-art equipment for a 21st century warfighting environment. And the way that Boeing has attacked it with the Hornet industry team, and in fact with our entire spectrum of contractor industry partners, is we have worked with our government and determined what state-of-the-art technology we can provide and partner with Indian industry, and matched it up with their capabilities. And we are now in the process of leaning forward in all those cases to move that forward, to put in place the mechanisms to transfer that technology, whether it be manufacturing or high-end, state-of-the-art capabilities you've seen with some of the briefings today. And we will move forward and do that once the MMRCA final decision is made. You saw Indian industry grow and be competitive worldwide in the future, and that's our intent.
And the second question is for ISA. In this MMRCA bidding, the trials, there is another company which is offering ISA. Your colleague, his electronic system offers different kind of ISA. How do you compare your ISA versus Northrop Grumman's electronic systems on F-16? And how and why is it superior according to you?
Well, I'll answer it from an aircraft perspective, and then I'll give Glenn the opportunity to respond. I've heard the aircraft was designed for growth. That growth included an aircraft that was designed by its very inception to accept an AESA radar at some point in the future when that technology became available. At the same time, the aircraft was also designed to be able to accept a growth engine if and when it was ever needed. So what the AESA from an APG-79 perspective brings to the Super Hornet is the fact that the Super Hornet was designed with this radar in mind. So a number of optimization features were built into this radar. As Glenn mentioned earlier, when you refer to the APG-79 or the Raytheon radar, you can't refer to it in isolation. From an aircraft perspective, what concerns me is not only the ability of this radar to see airborne targets at very long ranges, but I want to be able to do that while at the same time my electronic warfare suite and my radios and my data link continues to operate. So if you were to compare radar to radar, there are some valid comparisons, and I'll let Glenn address some of those. But most importantly is the radar has to be designed with the aircraft in mind. You can't fly that radar in isolation. It has to be part of a highly integrated avionics suite. Flying and evaluating the air-to-air capability of radar without taking into consideration the fact I may need to be jamming enemy aircraft at the same time I'm listening for other enemy aircraft, at the same time, oh, by the way, I may need to be talking to my wingman, or I may be sending information back to the AWACS behind me. So as I look at it from an aircraft perspective, It's not just the radar in isolation. It's the fact that this radar was designed with this aircraft in mind.
Your AESA system for what RWR it has to integrate with, what jamming system it has to integrate with, what weapons. I'm not intimately familiar with their offering, but some things I would like to highlight is the 79 is on a hot production line right now and will be produced for many years into the future for numerous customers. The 79 is in the U.S. government inventory, and upgrades and sustainment funding will be available for at least 2 more decades, or 2035 and beyond, I think, is the current plan for the APG-79. So should India select the Super Hornet and choose to participate with the U.S. government, they will benefit from all those upgrades and sustainment investments that the U.S. will be making in the APG-79 going forward. I hope that helps answer your question.
Thank you. The final question.
Hang on, let me give you another perspective, okay? So this may sound strange. This is not an aircraft. It's an integrated weapon system. That's the biggest difference between us and some of our competitors. Communications, sensors, weapons, radar, engine, it's an integrated system. That's how the F-18 was designed from inception. That's how the Super Hornet was designed from inception. That's how the F-18IN is designed. Even as the Indian Air Force adds additional capability, it will be in an integrated fashion. That's why you have increased capability in the warfighting arena. It's much different than an aircraft that just tries to integrate systems on piece by piece. You have the whole package with the F-18. That really is the difference. So to try to compare a sensor with another sensor, it just doesn't wash, because that's not how this aircraft is designed and developed.
Thank you. Jim, I'll get you now.
Yeah.